One. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. I think I actually caught one in the countdown for my recording because I assumed my hotkey was.
I was going a little slow.
Yeah, I assumed my hotkey was going to take a long time to start recording, but of course it was like instantaneous.
Well, that's good. There's a spider on my wall. I have to.
I don't see any spiders.
Deal with this. Hold on.
Just wait till the daylight. He'll be your friend.
He's dead now.
They're not hostile in the daytime.
I guess he didn't come after me because I guess there's enough light in the room. He didn't know it wasn't daytime.
Ah, gotcha. Saved by the trickery.
Yes. Oh man. So what you been up to?
So not too much. I was a little jealous though because after I was telling you about my excitement on the fire station and getting my first due basement fire and all. It's like, yes, officer for a while. Our most brand new officer on Wednesday night got an even bigger first due fire that he went and got to take care of, and did it
I think it's so wild that you guys are all like, I don't know, the whole like, man, I really wish there was a fire sort of thing. I understand that, like, that's what you're there for.
Well, it's what you're there for.
Wish there's not a fire.
Let me ask you this, though. How many people do you know that are firefighters that don't ever want to go to a fire in their life? You're
the only firefighter I know. My dad was a firefighter.
People do this stuff for a reason, and it's because they're like adrenaline junkies and want to be involved in something like going into a burning building to try to put it out or whatnot. It's like trauma nurses or flight nurses. They don't go into the job because they hope they never have to take care of a patient. They get excitement out of trying to do these difficult situations. So
I don't think that's true of everyone.
I think it's true of everybody who is in these roles. I
don't agree. I think that there's some people that just they read a book when they were a kid and they said, I want to be a firefighter.
But what was in the book that made them want to be a firefighter? People being a hero and going into these crazy scenarios, right?
Maybe they saved a puppy. They didn't want to be in the fire.
That's still... didn't I tell you at mine there was the cat?
No.
Oh, yeah, there was... it came over that the owner was outside and said, somebody please to try to find his cat.
Did y'all find it?
Yeah, they ended up finding it. I didn't realize the whole time it was in a cage. Which is why he said that. And I was thinking, like, why wouldn't this cat have just left his fucking house at this point,
Right.
All the doors are open. Oh, it was in a cage. And it was in a room that was, like, not affected by any of the fire or smoke or anything like that, so the cat was fine.
Who the fuck keeps a cat in a cage?
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it's a new cat and it's getting, like, trained or something. I don't know. Usually just the dogs, though, not cats, I guess.
Yeah, no, you don't kennel cats. That's weird. Maybe y'all need to go back and investigate.
It's an underground cat fighting ring.
Yes, yeah. There's something shady here, Jeff. I need more talk.
Yeah, but I firmly believe that people who go into these things, it's because they want to seek this. They don't want to see people get hurt. There's a difference with wanting somebody's possessions to burn up in flames versus wanting to be either the hero or just in the situation of putting out, a burning building.
Okay. I'll believe you. I haven't found it hard to
I'm trying to think what you've done. You've always been a like computer guy, right?
I have not done anything that risks my life.
Well, whether it even risks your life, I'm just trying to even put into, like, when you went into computers, did you go to school at all for it?
No.
Self-taught? Was it like programming stuff when you first started?
Yeah.
Did you start learning programming and try to get a job in programming because you hoped that nobody ever wanted anything programmed again? Or did you hope that you were going to program like something really cool?
I never actually got a job as a programmer. Like, I was like system administrator and stuff. I honestly have never had a job that I did it for some kind of reward other than a paycheck.
So would you have... later in life, not when you're young and don't have the skills to do anything, would you have done like, janitor at a strip club, Or
would I have been a janitor at a strip club? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a nasty job, just if it paid well.
I don't think I would. I don't think there's any way. No. I would have to. No, I'm qualified to do things other than janitor at a strip club.
But let's say, I'm saying, what if you weren't?
Oh, well, if I wasn't, then that's sad. I don't know. I mean,
Then that's sad.
I would wish I wasn't me. I guess I don't know. Like that sucks. Like I hope that I'm. I mean, I guess it's too late for that to happen now because I'm not.
Because you have other qualifications.
Right. So I mean, I'm glad that wasn't me. I don't know.
I still think I think money's a big factor in a lot of things, but I still think there's more to it than.
I mean, I literally transitioned from job to job because the pay was better. I worked at Shoney's. I got offered a job at the ISP, and I took that job. And I even offered Shoney's to pay me more. I was like, "You can pay me more." And like, "You want to be a manager?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, you really hit the end of the line in the whole salad bar attendant thing." And I'm like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go do tech support then."
Well, I mean, do you think that most police officers go into it because of the paycheck?
I think most police officers go into it because they were bullied in high school and they need someone else to fucking pick on.
Okay, I guess there's two sides of that one. There's probably the side of altruism, and then there's the side of power hungry.
I feel like a lot of police officers are power hungry.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say a lot, but I guarantee I know that there's definitely a chunk of police officers are people who do it because they're power hungry. Sure.
My dad was a police officer, and
he said your dad was a firefighter.
Well, he started the fire department here because there wasn't one in our area, and he wanted to lower his insurance rates. So he proposed to fire department, and he got a bunch of fucking people that didn't want it or whatever because of the taxes that were going to be added for the fire tax. And so there was a lot of opposition, and it took him 2 years to do all the research, get all the area mapped out. I had to help him a lot of times. I'd sit in the car and like hold the little rod out the car and like measure distance down roads and stuff. I guess for some of the mapping as far as distance from his proposed area for the fire station. So he founded the fire department. It's really what he did. He was the first president of the fire department. So yeah. I know he did go. In fact, one of the guys that opposed the whole fire department, right after it got built, and it was like the first fire they ever responded to was this guy's house.
Huh.
So it was really funny. He always liked telling that story how the guy that was the strongest against it was the first to use it. But he didn't respond to a lot of fires because he was the president of the fire department. But his whole initiative and goal there was basically to lower insurance costs. So it wasn't that he wanted to fight fires. And he was the kind of cop that complained about the guys that always pulled their gun in every single scenario. And he complained about how half the cops were just total fucking assholes. And there was a part, I remember being young, like my daughter's age, and being like, I want to be a police officer. And he was so against it. He was like, you absolutely do not. And I remember him just going off about how what total assholes half the cops were, and how they all think they're better than everyone else.
It's interesting because my dad was a cop too. And
that's right.
He absolutely was against me ever wanting to become a cop. Not because, well, he never got into the details of why. I don't think it was because he thought everybody there was assholes. He did say that it was a lot different now than it was when he joined, and it was way more political, and it wasn't a landscape he ever wanted to see us.
My dad complained a lot about politics too. Like my dad, he hated the current sheriff, and he talked about how corrupt he was and all this other stuff. So my dad was gearing up to run for sheriff, and then they set him up. Like my dad did smoke pot, so he's not innocent in this scenario, but they planted some pot, or he's always said they did. I don't know if this is true, but the way my dad described it, they planted some pot in his car and then busted him for it. And he's like, I never, he's like, I was always real careful when I bought my pot and all this stuff. He's like, so I never would have put myself in the situation that I got put in. But he always claimed that the sitting sheriff set him up because he was going to run against him. Again, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I was told.
But it could be. I wouldn't put it past anybody in politics. It seems politics is like one of the most corrupt things that has ever existed. It's so baffling, too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you've heard me bitch a lot lately about nurses, and I know you are one. But I'm got to the point where I'm convinced there ain't a single fucking nurse that does it long term that actually likes their job. Like I feel like people.
There's a lot of people who get very jaded very quickly in nursing field.
I believe it. I 100% believe it. I believe these people go in thinking that they want to help people or whatever, and they're going to be great, and they're going to do this and that, and they're going to save the world. And then I think they start dealing with the patients, and there's all different kinds of patients, and a lot of them are probably hard to deal with. And then they get to the point where every patient is the trouble patient, and then no matter what, you're just like, "Hey, can I get a drink of water?" And in the back of the nurse's mind, they're like, "Fuck you." And that's what it feels like.
Informatics, which is what I do, and education, nursing education, are two very big areas where many nurses go to because they are done and sick and tired of the bedside and want to go to, a more normal work schedule and never deal with patients again directly.
Is that why you changed? Or
no, I changed. So the funny thing is, I miss patient care a lot. I was not jaded enough yet to where I didn't want to go do patient care. I went from the ICU after the ER to the ICU to informatics. I did it for about 2 years, and then I went back to the bedside because I missed the bedside and I wanted the bedside. I took a huge pay cut to go back to the bedside. And the only reason I left the bedside because I had all my qualifications to go be that flight nurse that I always wanted to go be, or go start training to be like the flight nurse. Or in a trauma nurse. And at the same time, the director of informatics, the position I have now, randomly opened up. And I just threw my hat in the ring. It was a shot in the dark. Never thought I'd have the opportunity. And when I got the opportunity, I was offered the job, it was like a once in a lifetime. I couldn't pass it up because I'd never have that opportunity. I can't say never have it again. But at that point in my career, having the opportunity to be a level 1 trauma center, almost 1,000-bed hospital in the downtown Washington, D.C. area, be the sole director of nursing informatics was such a resume builder for the future. I could not pass it up or I'd be an idiot. And it's sad because I want to go back to the bedside, but now that I've started on this whole different path, for one, I'd never make the money that I make back at the bedside. And for two, I'm so far out of practice with it that if I go back to the bedside, you lose everything that has to do with informatics. And if you go to stay in informatics, you're losing all the pieces that make you the bedside nurse anymore.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Well, we've made it to the water. I don't really know how to proceed from here.
You said you had,
but I want to make like a dome.
I was gonna say you had found out what height we needed to be at. Was this the right height you wanted it to come out?
Yeah,
under
this
the water
is the
like
right height to come out over here. Let's see how far we are from this ravine, I guess. We still got a little ways to go to the ravine. We don't have to go to the ravine. Just drown. Oh, chasing me.
I think that villager drowned because his little dudes are still here.
Oh no, he goes invisible at night.
Oh, well.
So he might still be there. Look for sparkles. I see him.
Yeah,
he's still right.
I see the things. Okay, I'm gonna go back to. I got myself turned around. I actually don't know how we. Oh, there we go.
It's so weird looking when you're swimming down like that. So the ravine is still kind of far away. I didn't expect this to come out like that, but that's kind of okay. We could make glass and start putting glass here, I guess.
But how is the glass gonna be straight out until we hit the ravine?
I guess it could be. We could just make a straight tunnel until the ravine with a glass roof here. But then I was thinking once we get to the ravine, kind of making.
How far away?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go start.
I don't even know where this ravine's at that you're talking about this direction. Oh shoot!
It's straight. It's kind of far though.
Yeah, it is really far.
Wait, are you going the right one?
I don't know anymore. The dolphin gave me boost to speed, and I got a little lost.
It's right here. Can you see me?
No. Are you on?
I'm gonna go to the surface. I'll go to the surface.
Okay, I was looking at the surface. I thought maybe you're up on the water. Oh, there you are. Oh wow, I went way past you. I was not paying any attention to what was happening here. Oh, you got a guy coming at you.
Um. Yeah, it's like right here doing a dome.
Ravine.
But we could start the dome even earlier. I don't know how to incorporate the ravine into this dome. But the ravine seems cool.
I see you, but I don't see that hole.
Oh, the way we came out?
Yeah.
It's over here.
Oh, so okay, so you weren't by the hole when you came and got me. I see.
No.
Okay.
But the ravine's not that far. We might could start the dome earlier. Like the center of the dome hits the ravine, maybe. The number of drown that keep coming out of there makes me wonder if there's a spawner in there.
Is there drown spawners?
No, but the zombie spawner would result in drowns, basically. Because they'd spawn and then drown and then be drowned. You know what I mean?
And be drowned.
I'm going to go throw some of the sand we have in the furnace either way.
I need to go empty out my belongings. We gotta see how much sand we actually have. Do we have enough to make the super glass that we want to make? We got.
I don't know.
What the hell did we get all that glass for before?
I don't remember.
All that sand.
We were getting sand. Oh well, we got sand to build this, but we mostly got sandstone. We were gonna make sandstone, but then I'd still dug up some sand.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So we didn't get much sand. We got mainly sandstone.
Right. I think there's some sand. I thought there was at least. Other than that, wait, was that in the middle? Oh, here we go.
I mean, we can make a bunch of furnaces, except you can't with anything from my pick, because my pick's all straight up stone. Oh yeah, we still have enough to make a bunch of furnaces, though. And I did grab a bunch of coal, so we should be good with coal.
Yeah, my pick's not like yours.
This is my pick. There are many other picks like it, but this is my pick. I don't remember how that goes exactly, but it was something similar to that.
That's very close.
And,
what's that from? I can't remember the context.
Full Metal Jacket. And it was about his gun.
Yes. Right.
Grant, have you've seen that movie?
I have.
What was your thought?
That's a Kubrick movie, isn't it? Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, sure. I don't even know actually. Like,
I'm pretty sure it is. That was a good movie. I thought. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
It's been a very long time since I've seen it, and I know a lot of people like think the world of that movie. And I will be honest, I've only seen it full through probably twice in my life, and in my mind it's two different movies. There's like when they get out of boot camp, it's just a whole different movie from that point forward, which I thought was really interesting, and I didn't quite understand why it was that way. And then it was in general, though, I was like, I don't know if I'm a fan of this movie. Like, it's just very, I don't know. I didn't think it was like the great movie that everybody.
Oh no, I don't think it's like I'm also that. But I also don't like really military style movies anyways. Like I could never ever understand being yelled at by a drill sergeant. Like there's nothing. Like if I lived in the time period of the draft, they would have had to. They'd have killed me, I guess, because I couldn't deal with somebody yelling at me, and I sure don't respond that positively to that sort of reinforcement.
See, it's funny because for me, when I was like 18 to 25, prime candidate to join the military, I could never the military was. I didn't think anybody who joined the military was the same person. I thought they were just like well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you want to go through that? Why would you want to get yelled at? What would that do for anybody? And now as an adult who's past my prime to do it, I'm like, you know what? Military would have been pretty fucking sweet.
God, why?
I don't know. I think it's that I've become so much more disciplined in my adulthood, and I see such lack of discipline in people, especially when you deal with young people at the fire department or just people at work in general. That I think the military has such a good instilling of discipline that it's almost like one of those things that I almost wish everybody would have the disciplinary thought process of the military. Like, you listen to your superiors when you're, you know, in any type of, you know, situation. You don't know how many times, like, the fire department is considered paramilitary, which means it's like military-esque but without real military structure. But there's a whole ranking system and everything, and you wouldn't believe how many people don't really think, they don't listen, like, they don't give a shit. Some of the younger kids come in there and they don't give a shit that you're their superior and you've told them to do something and do a task. They're just gonna, they do what their own thing and don't think anything of it. And I just think it's
I feel like you can learn those skills and learn respect for your chain of command and those sort of things without having to go to the military.
I absolutely believe that, as somebody who never was in the military and feels I have a very firm respect for chain of command and things like that now. But I did not as an 18 to 25-year-old. But I feel like it would have been nice to have those skills instilled in me earlier than picking them up myself from just like the things that I do.
Yeah. Maybe there's some benefit for some people. It certainly is not. It's not my it's not my learning style. I don't respect you if you yell at me, you lose my respect. You don't gain it.
I'm not in the military.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I couldn't be in the military, because I couldn't. If you're yelling at me, I mean, like I said, they'd have to kill me. That's just all there is to it. They'd have to kill me because I'm not going to suddenly, yes sir, yes sir. No, fuck you.
See,
just get your fucking stupid ass out of my face.
But I think part of it is understanding that the process is supposed to be to, like, break you down as an individual and build you up as a team, is what they say about it. Like, it's when they're yelling at you and calling you stupid and this and that, like, you're supposed to understand that it's really not like the case of them thinking you're stupid. It's just like, I don't know. It's very weird. It was funny. Last night I watched a YouTube documentary on a military boot camp because I thought it was really entertaining.
Come take a look at this. I think this looks really cool.
Oops. I was breeding more cows in case we need stuff later. Hold on. You're way over in the water still?
Yeah. I'm in I started putting glass in the ceiling here. I think it looks really cool. The way they've changed the glass is actually nice. Still not as good as painless, but pretty good.
Okay, so you're somewhere right over.
I'm down the tunnel.
Oh, you're down the tunnel.
I'm not in the water.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't seen it from the top yet, actually.
I'm at the top. I say it like that because I don't. I flew in.
I can see the traveling villagers.
I see
from
you.
up here.
Or see you. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh yeah. Hi. Quick get some air.
I cut you a hole.
I see one in the front, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, this looks really cool. I almost kind of wish it was at the sea floor the entire way.
Like it opened up even more? Like we were up higher, is that what you mean?
No. Like, so we wouldn't have to have walls at some point, because the more you keep going forward, the floor dips down deeper. And it looks kind of cool with just being a ceiling, not like a squared off wall area that, you know, it's going to end up having to be. Or something that makes it look like a big bump out versus like a, hey, look, we brushed away the sand at the bottom of the ocean and all of a sudden we found this glass.
Right. Well, I guess once it starts getting bigger or down further, that's when we could start going up with the thing and making a dome. If we're going to make a dome, we don't even have to make a dome, really. We could drain that ravine and make like a layered farm in there somehow. I don't know. I do want to make it to be an automated farm, though, where we can.
I think draining the ravine seems a little excessive.
Maybe we don't have to. I don't know.
Should we bring in Brian and make a machine to do it for us?
Right. I'm sure Fedrin has tons of sponges. She's messed with some monument things, whatever they're called.
We might want to get those from her before we start competition.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we probably should end this episode here. Hope everyone's enjoyed. Hope they like our water feature. We'll see you next time.
See ya.